Time. I am here to discuss all things time, from its definition to its meaning to us humans as we develop, and some artist work in relation to time. What is the definition of time? Time is a difficult thing to define, as said by a few people I have asked. A quick Google search and there are so many. Progression of events from past to future. Time is infinite. Even if there was a beginning and there is an end, it won't really be the end. A moment, hour, day or year, as in dictated by a clock or calendar. Aging, the measurable period during which an action, process or condition exists to continue. There are so many different definitions. What is time, you may ask? Well, if you ask different people, you will get a different answer from everybody. In physics and philosophy, time is a physical phenomenon. In psychology, it's a sense of time passing. And in mathematics and engineering, it's time that we measure and use in our daily life routines. The history of time is as long as time itself. The beginning of time was approximately 14 billion years ago. Us humans only started measuring it in Egypt in 1500 BC with the basic unit of daytime. The devices they used individually to measure time during the night were sand timers, water clocks. In case you didn't know, it's a funnel filled with a certain amount of water, which then drips for a certain length of time. And candles. Obviously these were never greatly accurate, but provided a way to measure time without visually seeing the sun. In the 13th century in France, there was a water clock with instructions about how to set it each day, and an example being the nighttime scale for the 1st of July was the same as the daytime scale on the 1st of January. Naturally, these clocks were limited since they would have to be reset every day, and were generally used to keep track of cooking, important meetings, and so on. Most people in history had no concept of time existing other than just a glance at the sun due to being poor or not having any access to any time measuring device. As time went on, there became a basic form of clock, where a bell would be rung at certain points during the day. Today, people in a sense sell their time, paid by the hour, which as everyone knows is working to be able to live. Then there's economies which are sustained by people or companies lending and borrowing money. The lender then charges interest for the time the borrower has used of that money. However, this concept isn't new. In the Middle Ages, the charge for interest was banned by Romans, with the argument being time belongs to God and therefore cannot be bought or sold. To make things short, the growing use of time being bought and sold to support the trade and money market became more rationalized and then started to become more and more part of our daily lives. This all leads to today, where our daily routines revolve around time, alarm clocks, getting to places on time, meetings, an appointment of every kind, deadlines, thinking and planning ahead of time, even time of birth and death. I could go on, but I think you get my point. Now, to name a couple of artists and their artwork in relation to time. Gillian Waring and her work 60 Minute Silence. This piece is a video portrait of 26 police officers in their uniform, sat in a formal manner, much like in school photos, for an hour. As time goes on, you can see they all become fidgety and restless from discomfort and or boredom. This piece just demonstrates and reminds the public eye that they are also just like any other human being. Many people generally see these people as people of power and control, but in this instant, the power and control is left in the hands of the artist, and it's noted that there were cries of relief when announced that it was all over. Christine Markley and his work, The Clock, is a functioning 24-hour montage of movies and TV clips consisting of clocks, watches, microwave timers, sundials, and so on, and it's telling the viewer of their current time and are quite literally watching time tick by. It's created using a century's worth of cinema history. It took a whole team of 6 assistants 3 years to complete this piece, and Christine himself painstakingly stitched all the clips and audio together to flow smoothly. So it's not only an experience for the eyes, it's one for the ears too. The final outcome is made up of around 12,000 moments from different movies. The idea came to him when he was editing another artwork when overlaying clips. The film has the ability to make the viewer think of the past, present and future. Clips from the past, time of day you're currently viewing it, and it makes you consider the future. Is watching it a waste of time, or is it time well spent? You decide. Either way, it might possibly be the most impressive and important piece you will ever encounter. Now you're probably wondering, why am I viewing photos of her growing up? Well, it's an example of time passing, and yes, there are some embarrassing photos most ordinary people wouldn't include, but if you know me, you will know that I am no ordinary person. In my short, nearly 20 years of life on this planet, I have changed, learned and developed so much in every way, and will continue to do so till the day I die. But the one very important thing I want to keep in mind is to live life in the present, not dwell on past mistakes, but to learn from them and to see how far I've come, and not to get so worried about the future, since that is not here yet. If there is at least one thing you can take from this, whoever you are, live life in the fullest, because time is of the essence. Oh, in case you were curious, the word time has been used 44 times in total.